Okay, you want to talk about a tough president? In 1912, Teddy Roosevelt was shot at point-blank range in the chest. He proceeded to give a 90-minute speech before getting medical attention. The bullet had penetrated through a metal glasses case and folded up speech in his front pocket. It would come to a stop in his chest muscles without ever penetrating into his lungs. And while on stage, he joked that it takes more than a .38 to kill a bull moose. He was a war hero from the Battle of San Juan Hill and his legendary volunteer group, the Rough Riders. He had spent years exploring the western frontier, hunting and killing grizzly bears, buffalo, and even lions. He nearly went blind when punched in the face during a boxing match, wrestled with his security guards as president, and before he died would become a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He ran the police department in New York, cleaned up the streets, and rooted out corruption. Everyone today knows him as the Trust Buster, but they lose sight of what that means. He took on John D. Rockefeller and Standard Oil and Northern Securities controlled by J.P. Morgan. These were the guys that were later behind the Federal Reserve Act, who conquered the education system, took over the medical industry, got America into World War I, rewrote American history textbooks, and Roosevelt actually took them on. He took the fight to them. A populist alpha male president who regulated the food industry. And yes, the FDA sucks today, but that's not his fault. In fact, he weeded out corruption his entire career by fighting for civil service reform, as he wanted government employees hired on merit rather than party affiliation. And he spoke softly and carried a big stick as he negotiated the end of a war between Russia and Japan. And he secured the Panama Canal, which was a really big deal for America. You see, at the time, Colombia had control over Panama, and many people in Panama wanted independence. And they were encouraged by the United States, so they declared independence. And when the US Navy showed up to back them, Colombia wanted no part of it. They just left. Panama had its own country, and America had the canal. And I know what some of you are thinking, evil America? No, I'm good with it. Teddy did a great job. And he was a man of the people and a great American who would absolutely love my book on the right to bear arms, the First Amendment, morality, how the food system is corrupted. I mean, it's kind of like Upton Sinclair, J.P. Morgan and fake news, how Morgan and Rockefeller conquered the banking system, and so much more. ClassicalLearner.com